Today's story was written by Reddit user JGTEngineer68. The galaxy is a big place, unfathomably large, and without FTL, the vast distances between stars requires the use of stasis chambers or generational ships. Most species never leave their home system until they find an ancient form of FTL technology that the Confederation races call a slingate. But how that works is immaterial to the story. All you really need to know is slingates were spread out amongst the known systems to assist them, placed there by a long dead and ancient advanced race. Each gate goes to only one other star system bidirectionally, and so on so forth, like a great galactic chain. Every once in a while, a species will find a gate in their system and open it, adding a link to an otherwise believed dead end, usually finding its pair once they know what to look for. Sometimes the gates need to be repaired, and the species who do are usually more advanced and quickly become highly regarded in the Confederation. Oh, the last thing, slingates can only move so much mass within a single connection, which means the size of a ship that can travel through it is limited. Fleet movements are very slow, and thus large fleets are pretty much restricted to system defense. No one fights wars because the defenders always outgun any attack. Most of the systems the slingates connect to are dead systems. Worlds of ruins and archaeological sites are home to pirates and miners of the resources still remaining in the system. Piracy is a very lucrative way to make money within the Confederation. It's what I do. I run a crew of a Teleran fast attack ship called the Crimson Fang. We have a crew of 47, mostly of my species, the Teleran. We are a bipedal quad-armed species. We stand about 1 meter tall, and our scales can harden into armour. We are also attuned to vacuum capable of surviving for 15 to 20 human minutes in the black. My species is one of the lesser and newer members of the Confederation. We were conquered after an ill-advised war once we connected. Our technology is younger than most races, but still effective, consisting of energy weapons and dispersion armour, amongst other common forms of shipborne technologies. We've taken up residence in a system on the far galactic north transfer point between two heavily rich star systems, at least 5 jumps from the nearest law and order. Convoys carrying minerals are common. Piracy is almost always bloodless. Most ships are automated. Most companies don't even file reports when you jack a ship, as long as you let it continue on its way once you offload the cargo. My crew doesn't even attack manned ships. At least, we didn't. If you recall, most species do not leave their home systems until they find a slingate. Apparently, this held true with humans, in a manner of speaking. The Fang was patrolling our hunting grounds between the second slingshot around the brown dwarf in the centre of the system, a prime spot for ships on their deceleration burn towards the slingates, when my sensor operator detected a contact appear on our scopes without warning. I ordered us to investigate. A new contact that we hadn't seen? Maybe it was a derelict drifting through space. A big score? It was too good to pass up. So we burned for the ship, and as we closed, we saw a silhouette on the light telescopes. It was alien and matched nothing in our database. Teleran ships are sleek, built to resemble the tips of spears cutting through space. Our artificial gravity system and engines allowed us great manoeuvrability for our size, which made us a perfect vessel for intercepting and boarding. But what we saw was, well, it was unlike anything we had ever seen, to be redundant. It was a massive, ugly vessel, a boxy, asymmetrical section followed by a series of what looked like to be cargo containers. 2 massive engines at the end of a long beam that stretched for nearly a kilometre. As we approached, I ordered the boarding parties to prepare themselves. This was going to be the mother of all scores, judging by the size. I was so blinded by greed, I never thought to myself how a ship this large ever fit through the sling gate. We matched velocity and readied the boarding tractors. So far, nothing we saw suggested the ship had anyone aboard. I ordered my first officer to begin breaching the hull and watch the boarding teams through their monitors as they moved through the ship. That's when we learned that the ship wasn't automated. They moved so fast. They were so much bigger than us, and their weapons ripped through our armour. Projectile weapons of some kind. I remember the frantic calls, the fear in my crew's voice, and the silence. I remember thinking, projectile weapons on a starship? Are they insane? They don't even care about their own hull? And that's when we made contact. I heard on the comm of my dead first officer, "Hey, listen here. I'm sorry we had to put down your crew, but we got a contract to keep. We got a thing where we came from. It's called parlay. Means we stop shooting and we talk." Their language was alien, but our translation system seemed to work. I had no choice. I agreed to the terms. Over a conversation, we learned they were a Terran deep-range construction vessel tied to one of their world's corporations. They were going to build a space station to connect back to their home system. When I inquired how they got in the system, they told me they jumped. This is the part that, more than anything, you have to understand was frightening. They invented a new form of FTL travel. Apparently, they found a sling gate and realised they could do better. The ship they were in had a version of the drive. A construction vessel had the ability to jump anywhere it wanted. When I inquired about their military, they all seemed to have served time in it. War, apparently, was common amongst themselves. We collected our dead and left them. I ordered the Fang to burn for the sling gate and set course for the nearest Confederate outpost. They had to be warned. They all did. The humans were coming.